Welcome back to Skyward Fighter, your cockpit view into the world of military aviation and defense tech. Today, we're diving into the F-47, the cutting-edge jet from Boeing that's making waves, but not the kind you might expect. Despite its futuristic design and next-gen features, even America's closest allies are saying, no thanks. So why is the world turning its back on the F-47? Let's find out. The rise of the F-47 and the shadow of the F-22. The F-47 is Boeing's crown jewel in the Next Generation Air Dominance program, an initiative aimed at dominating the skies in the coming decades. It's sleek, stealthy, and packed with technology far beyond what we've seen before. Designed to eventually replace the legendary F-22 Raptor, the F-47 fighter is expected to enter service in the early 2030s. And with that replacement comes a hefty price tag, and even heftier expectations. But here's where it gets interesting. Boeing only won the F-47 contract after Lockheed Martin, the maker of the successful F-35 Lightning II, was eliminated from the U.S. Navy's F/A-XX competition. That's right, the very company behind the most widely used 5th-gen fighter won't be building the 6th-gen future. So why did Lockheed Martin lose out? And more importantly, will Boeing be able to replicate the massive international success of the F-35? Here's a twist you didn't see coming. Just because a fighter jet is advanced doesn't mean it's going to sell. The F-47 fighter may be too advanced, and that could be exactly why no one wants to buy it. The export problem. A repeat of the F-22. Mistake? Let's rewind to the late 90s. The F-22 Raptor was hailed as a revolutionary fighter, but it never made it to the international market. Why? The US government feared its stealth and avionics tech might fall into the wrong hands, even if those hands were friendly. In the end, only 187 Raptors were built, far short of the original 750 planned. The cost ballooned, and the program was eventually halted. Now, the same whispers are surrounding the F-47, that it may never be sold abroad. Former Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall recently voiced skepticism about foreign sales, saying he'd be very surprised if any ally would pay the unit cost, an estimated $180 million per jet. For comparison, the F-35 is around half that price, and that's for the export version, which, by the way, might come with lesser capabilities. As President Trump bluntly put it, someday, maybe they're not our allies. That kind of thinking is pushing even the closest U.S. partners away from the table. What happens when your friends stop trusting you? In the case of fighter jets, you lose billions. The F-47 fighter could be the world's most powerful plane, with no one to fly it. The financial fallout: too expensive to love. Let's be honest. Price matters. Even the flashiest aircraft can't fly off the production line if nobody's willing to buy them. At $180 million a pop, the F-47 is a tough sell. It's not just expensive, it's double the cost of an F-35, a jet that already dominates global markets. Add to that the lack of transparency around the F-47's capabilities, and allies are left wondering, what exactly are we paying for? Even if the US offered a downgraded export model, it would still be prohibitively expensive. And if that version is missing critical features like advanced AI, stealth systems, or loyal wingman integration, it might not be worth it at all. What good is the world's most advanced fighter if no one can afford it? The F-47 fighter is becoming a luxury jet in a market that wants affordability and firepower. Europe's 6th-gen surge, Allies, look inward. Across the Atlantic, a different story is unfolding. America's allies aren't just walking away from the F-47 fighter. They're building their own jets. Enter the Global Combat Air Program, GCAP, led by the UK, Italy, and Japan. This sixth-gen stealth fighter, once called Tempest, is expected to replace the Eurofighter Typhoon and Japan's F-2. It's designed with a futuristic AR cockpit, drone coordination systems, and even AI co-pilots. And get this, they already have 300+ orders without even revealing the full specs. Then there's FCAS, the Future Combat Air System, a joint venture between France, Germany, and Spain. While it's faced some internal challenges, interest in Dassault's Rafale fighter could open the door for smoother FCAS collaboration and eventual adoption. Why wait for America's secret jet when you can build your own? Europe is betting on independence, and it's paying off big. The global shift: collaboration beats secrecy. One thing the GCAP and FCAS have in common: burden sharing. By pooling resources, expertise, and costs, they're creating aircraft that are not only advanced, but economically viable. Compare that to the F-47, which the US is keeping tightly under wraps, both in terms of specs and availability. It's a closed-door policy, while Europe is opening its arms to international cooperation. Even countries outside of NATO, like Japan, are showing more interest in co-developing jets than buying pre-made American options. The result? The US may find itself increasingly isolated in the global fighter jet market, not because its tech isn't good enough, but because its approach to allies is out of sync. Secrecy might protect the F-47's tech, but it's killing its chance at global success. Meanwhile, Europe is winning the skies through teamwork and transparency. Nations like the UK, Italy, and Japan aren't just co-financing the GCAP project. They're co-designing it, ensuring every partner has a stake in the outcome and access to the technology. That's a huge shift from the old model of American dominance, where allies paid top dollar for black box systems they couldn't fully control or customize. The future of air superiority isn't just about who has the fastest jet. It's about who can build the strongest network. Europe and its partners are laying the groundwork for a new era of multilateral defense, where technology flows both ways and trust is built into every component. That's attractive to countries tired of being treated like customers instead of collaborators. In this new arms race, the winner won't just be the one with the best stealth or longest range. It'll be the one who can build the biggest coalition. And if the US doesn't change course soon, the F-47 might end up being the most advanced jet that no one else wants to fly. What happens next? So what's the future of the F-47? For now, Boeing will focus on US needs, developing, testing, and eventually deploying the aircraft to replace aging Raptors. But as allies pour money into their own sixth-gen platforms, the window for export opportunities is rapidly closing. The US could shift strategies, offering limited tech sharing or more affordable versions. But that may not be enough. Trust and transparency have already taken a hit. And with multiple sixth-gen fighters expected to enter service globally in the 2030s, the F-47 stealth fighter risks becoming a lone wolf in a pack of partnerships. In the race for air dominance, isolation is a losing strategy. If the F-47 stays locked away, it may soar in the skies, but crash in the market. That's all for today's deep dive. What do you think? Should the F-47 be sold abroad, or is it too risky to share? And will America's go-it-alone strategy pay off or backfire? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more stories from the cutting edge of air power. Until next time, this is Skyward Fighter, signing off.